Hi, everybody. Welcome to today's session on marketing decision intelligence, or MDI. And that's how we are transforming how marketers make faster, smarter, and more confident decisions. Over the next 50 minutes, we'll explore why MDI is emerging as a must-have capability for marketers everywhere, from solving data chaos to enabling real-time data decisions. We're going to talk about all of it. We're going to go through it all, and it's going to be a fun ride. But before we begin, my name's Adam Hart. I'm the engagement manager here at MADTECH.AI, and I will be your host today. And so if you have any questions, anything as we're going along, feel free to put them in the chat. Happy to answer them. We'll keep that going. There's going to be a big Q&A section at the end as well. So as we go along here, happy to keep it going. But speaking of the agenda, here's a quick overview of what we're going to be getting into today. We're going to start by setting the stage. We want to know what the challenges modern marketers face. What are we trying to solve? And we're going to move into marketing decision intelligence and why it matters now. Why it's important to be talking about these things now and implementing these solutions today. After that, we're gonna follow that with a fireside chat with Bill and Ashwini, who you'll meet here in just a second. A short demo of Maddie. We'll also find out who that is in action, and a customer success story before we're wrapping up with that live Q&A that I mentioned. So today, I have the once in a lifetime personal fortune to be joined by our two exceptional leaders. Bill Lederer, who is our founder and CEO. There he is. Bill is pioneering the MDI category globally, and we're so excited to have him along. I'm personally a big fan of Bill. I've known him about 2 years, and when we met, I came from nonprofits, and he had a big interest in not only nonprofits as a category of potential business, but as how can we solve problems for this sector of people who might not be marketing and might not have the capability. So I've always been very super proud to work with him because he's a guy who really knows what he's focused on and how to get the best for people. And we're also going to be joined by Ashwini. Ashwini is the country head and board member of MADTECH.AI. She is the country head of India, and we have here at MADTECH.AI a lot of employees, and I've known Ashwini here for about just over a year now, and her ability to really stay focused with so many groups of people building such an amazing product, her ability to keep everybody focused and on top of what needs to get done, it's unparalleled. I'm so proud to get to work with her and her seasoned background and get to learn from her every day. So I'm super excited.
Adam. And hello, everyone.
Thanks, Ashwini. So that's who's going to be joining us. Here's what we're going to be doing. What I'd like to start with is a challenge that everybody knows too well, especially marketers, and it's the idea of data chaos, right? There's research that suggests about 80% of marketers say disconnected, unusable data is their biggest barrier to confident decision-making. Bill, you've seen this issue evolve over the years. What is marketing decision intelligence and how does it relate to this problem?
Sure. Thanks, Adam. And Ash, we've come a long way together, and I'm really excited about this opportunity for us to unveil what we've been working on for so many years. I think the starting point is that our experience over the last roughly 10 years in operating Isocrates, the professional services business from which MADTECH.AI has originated, basically is that our clients, whether they're on the demand side, meaning marketers and agencies, or on the supply side, publishers and DataTech and media suppliers, they have pretty messed up data. Pretty hard to make good decisions when the underlying data quite often is not in good shape. So if you want to make better decisions, the starting point is getting the data right. And too often, it's not right. In fact, virtually all the time, in the years that we've been working against so many different clients on both sides. So if the intent is not just buying technology and having a lot of data, spending a lot of money on marketing, but in order to move the organization ahead in a productive way, how do we get to better decisions? And so what we've done is to take a look at the total ecosystem, our own experiences and operations, and said, well, gosh, the starting point needs to be fixing the data. Beyond that, do we have the right data models that that data is flowing into? How visible does the marketer and the agency is that data and better decisions that are available to them? Can it get there quickly and consistently? And then finally, how do we accelerate the challenges around working with marketing and marketing data, where very often there's an awful lot of ineffectiveness and inefficiency? So how do we accelerate the learnings around what's not working, overspend, underspend, maybe data that stopped somewhere, we're not accomplishing the KPIs that we're after? And can systems help us to be more proactive about the problem solving? So those are things that existing ecosystem does not do particularly well. And so we thought that we would go to work on that. Little did I know that it would take so many years of hard work to get there. And with AI, we have evolved over the years. Now we have 6 different forms of AI that are at work. But the goal here is to reduce wasted time, wasted money, and to take full advantage of the growth opportunities that exist, both from a revenue and profit standpoint. To do that, the origins of MDI, Marketing Decision Intelligence, is to try to create something that's purpose-built, make sure that it's affordable for all, and that what you've got is a really significant decision support system that, as it turns out, is probably independent of the rest of the tech stack. So that's a long answer to a short, straightforward question.
No, that's great. That you touched on a lot of topics there, and a lot of sectors of business in the marketing world that have these problems and how they could leverage this technology. But I'd like to jump into some specifics because, of course, we can say it's going to solve problems, it's going to make things faster, but what does that mean? So I want to throw this over to you, Ashwini. You've worked closely with a lot of global marketing teams. What are specifically those top challenges that marketers face today that MDI solves?
Yeah, thanks for that question, Adam. Today, be it a marketer, agency, or a publisher, as we know, all of them are juggling with multiple platforms, right? It could be the ad servers, CRMs, analytical platforms. And let's say if some of them are doing data enrichment enhancements, then these third party data vendors also will come into picture. What does that mean? So that means it's a lot of data, right? And this data is sitting in silos uh, because they are not talking to each other. So whether it is a large enterprise, or smaller teams, the challenge is the data complexity, right? It's like data is everywhere for both, right? So even for the tactical analysis as well as for the strategic decision making. Let me start with a tactical example, right? So let's say a campaign manager, so he might be managing hundreds of campaigns every day. So now if they have to optimize a campaign, first of all, there is no visibility, there are many things going on. So what is working, what is not working, there is no visibility. So then the campaign manager has to log into each of those platforms, right? So there might be social media campaigns running, programmatic campaigns. So performing these things, if it is done manually, so what happens is there could be chances of errors happening, and then the campaigns will not get the timely attention. So there could be over delivery. Bill also already mentioned these things, right? So there will be KPI goals associated with these campaigns. So traditionally, what is happening is, most of the times the time goes into collecting this enormous data, cleansing it, and analyzing it. So what happens is the decisions become reactive rather than proactive, right? So but what the marketers need is something which is predictable, right? So with MadTech AI we change that story. So we unify all the marketing and advertising data across channels, tools, into one decision intelligence platform. So what happens? Marketers get the AI driven insights and recommendations on their dashboards. So it is not just analysis about the historic or past data. So everything is one place. So they can move from data chaos to data clarity. So with the MATECH AI, so what happens is, yeah, now we are talking about being proactive rather than reactive. So here the simple idea is, uh, there is so much of technology, technology has improved, AI is in place, let the technology do the heavy lifting so that people can focus on strategy, storytelling, and then focus just on the results.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ashwini. It's a great answer because it really speaks to the specificity there of what is trying to be solved. But along that same line, I think, as we all know, there are a lot of tools to solve some of those challenges today. An organization might have their own BI tools. With the prevalence of AI, someone might be using their AI tool. Bill, to you, with these tools already on the market, what gap are you seeing that convinced you that MDI and MadTech AI needed to exist? What's the different
Sure.
approach than what's already out there?
Well, it would have been a heck of a lot easier and a heck of a lot less expensive if we could have bought something or some group of things that were available in the market to solve the issues. The problem is that Ash and I have used a lot of tools in the market, evaluated dozens of them on behalf of ourselves and our clients, and we did not find what we were looking for after having used them and really been put in a tough spot. So I think the starting point is the what we would call the base of the platform, and specifically that's the data unification transformation of the data itself. As we take a look at the solution that's been built, the goal has been could we find a external resource, which we have not been able to do, that consistently, affordably solves the unification transformation part of the challenge. What we've had to solve, like many people, if you're going to have done it as best as possible, you threw a lot of bodies at it. So you could use some tools, but no one or two tools would do it. So you wind up using a lot of data engineers, could be data warehouse architects, could be data scientists to get that data right. And that's an awfully expensive way to do it. So we basically have built iPaaS, which is the foundation of marketing decision intelligence, in order to be able to do that. The second gap in the market is once you've got the data and you've got it stored in a data warehouse that's easily accessible and well maintained, you're going to need the data models built properly, and you'll need to be able to visualize them. You're storing the data, and you need to be able to monitor and be able to fix what are going to be consistently broken data pipelines along the way, and hygiene and enrichment challenges, all before you get to the decision itself. So the first thing for us was we spent years working on the base of what you see as this pyramid, which makes up the layers of integrated layers that make up marketing decision intelligence. So putting those pieces together and doing it in an affordable way, quickly, and something that will work for both B2B and B2C, demand side or supply side, non-trivial to build, and unfortunately, they're just the amount of effort required to get other pieces to be able to work in concert and not break down, very, very hard to do. So what you see is a value proposition that's born of trying to gain speed to value by leaving the data wrangling, all that kind of data activity that we've been talking about, what we would call data wrangling, the model building that's involved, data visualization, and then the problem solving. That's what is fundamentally represented in that pyramid that you see that makes up marketing decision intelligence. Each of those are integrated layers. Let me go up about 5,000 feet, if we can, to what is marketing decision intelligence. In a nutshell, why can't marketing be as holistically developed and executed as our brains? So for humans, we have a single location, our brain, with two primary components in the brain as it relates to decision, and that is cortex and cerebellum, that take in the data and signals that develop across our body and outside our body. We bring those together, we synthesize those in order to be able to make better decisions, or really any decisions. And then the instructions that come from the brain go to the parts of the body that allow us to be able to move our hands, as an example. Well, gosh, that doesn't work that way in marketing analytics today. What happens is we have a highly distributed group of smaller analytics that are typically at the execution layer or in individual components within our tech stack, represented by those things that you see spread throughout this human body. We believe that there is an opportunity for a separate and distinct category called marketing decision intelligence, which brings together the data from across the systems and even outside of existing marketing systems in order to be able to pull in data not only from your own experience, but potentially from the experience of others within the marketing ecosystem in order to be able to make those better decisions. We think that is separate and distinctly different than what other forms of marketing analytics are doing, and definitely different than the execution layer. Totally separate and apart. And so we've proposed a definition of what marketing decision intelligence is and can be. And you can see it right there. I'm not going to read it to you, but what I would say to you is it's not just about the data. It's being able to use the data in an effective way using descriptive, predictive, and proscriptive, that is, recommendations, in order to be able to make much better decisions, buy side or sell side. It's a big initiative. We have started, we've had a significant initial success. In all candor, we'll talk about this later, the biggest success has been figuring out what's not working, figuring out overspend, underspend, failure to meet KPIs, data that's not flowing, challenges that exist within the marketing system, even before we're talking about optimization. So in a fully developed state, you want to be able to optimize these campaigns, but it's been our experience so far that so many things go wrong within media and marketing, buy side and sell side, that significant value and particularly fast payback comes from using these systems to figure out what's not working and knowing about it in real time, hopefully while the campaign is running or even before, to fix it. And those have been early returns from MDI, and we'll talk more about that. Adam, back to you.
Yeah, thanks, Bill. That is a great answer. There's a lot of good content in there. I do want to focus on one thing that you said in particular. You said it's not the execution layer that's being focused on here. And I think some folks might have the question, how is this different than a CDP? Could you give us a little bit of insight there on your thoughts on how what is being solved is different than what a CDP does?
Sure, you bet. So a CDP is a customer data platform, and CDPs are definitely a distinct part of the execution aspect of the marketing ecosystem. Imagine that the CDP, going back to that human body, has access to underlying customer data, maybe the specific audience identity, and it could be their purchase experience, for example, or purchase history. A marketing decision intelligence platform is intended to sit on top of a CDP or a CRM or a DSP or an ESP or other execution layer, could include ad servers. It is specifically and exclusively focused on making better decisions. It is unifying data. It could be extremely broad-based data or narrow. It brings together the experience not only of the customer, but if the customer allows it, access to other aggregated, anonymized experience from other marketers. with a goal specifically of saying across channels, across campaigns, creative, different publishers, time of day, day of week, offers, all the different elements that might exist within marketing. What's going on? What's going on relative to plan? What's going on in terms of performance against plan? And to be able to do that in real time and making sure that it is providing an independent perspective. That is something that is different than a CDP. It is not trying to do what a CDP does. It's not CDP plus. It's different than a CDP. So to be clear, it accesses a CDP and it can access a CRM or a DMP, or it could access other elements of finance or operations. It's separate. For those of you that are familiar with AI, we're talking about Palantir for marketers. Palantir is an AI-based company that focuses primarily on defense and intelligence industry. It is separate and apart from other elements of what's going on within data, first, second, third-party data. Same thing happens with marketing. We're looking for something different and something that is has all the resources focused on one particular element, which is making better decisions.
Yeah, that's a really good answer there of what is being done there. But I'm hearing a lot of what you're doing, how you're getting to these answers, or how these once you have MDI, how your marketers' lives are better and the decisions that are being better. But I do want to poke here a little bit. How is this unique? Like, what, Ashwini, could you give us like a little peek under the hood? How does this actually work? And how is that really democratizing decision making, like Bill is saying?
Oh, that's a great question, Adam. So now what we know, right? Usually all these analytical power, it sits with some few technical people, right? It could be data engineers, data specialists, or the BI analysts, right? So everyone else has to wait, the management team especially, or the CMO, CRO. So they have to wait until these reports are created. So now what happens? So that slows down the action and might lead to errors and make goods, which I mentioned previously also. It is nothing but losing the marketing and advertising budget. So MadTech AI changes that. So how? By putting the data intelligence in everyone's hands, right? So whether you are a CRO, CMO, or a campaign manager for that matter, so all you need to do is log into MadTech AI. You will get access to the dashboards, automated insights. We call it as synthesize, and even we have Ask Maddie, whom everybody will be meeting in a few minutes. So, which is our natural language processing AI assistant. Ask questions in plain English, right? Something like, which campaign performed the best this quarter, or which creative has the best CTR, something like that. So not just this, with MadTech AI, so there is an alerting mechanism also, right? It's for data syncs as well as for the campaign managers if they want to monitor how the campaigns are performing. So, for example, let's say if a data sync fails, the data engineers would get the alert automatically, right? So and we have gone further wherein it can auto heal some of these issues, and just to ensure we are not blindingly making the AI fix the issues. So there is an approval process added, so wherein the engineers would review the solution that is provided, and then it can auto heal. And similarly, the campaign managers would be alerted, let's say if there is a overspend, and then CTR goals are not getting met, or there is under delivery, something like that. So then what happens is immediately the campaign managers would be able to go to that specific campaign in a particular specific platform, and immediately fix the issues, right, without losing time. So that's what is unique with respect to MADTECH AI, I would say. So regardless of it's the big enterprises or smaller, while the larger enterprises would get, scale and governance, the smaller teams will have a plug and play intelligence tool. They need not have an army of engineers to know how the data is performing. So in short, I would say everybody could become data literates, right, with MADTECH AI, and they will be able to make smarter decisions faster, uh, is what I would say, Adam. Yeah.
Smarter decisions faster, I like a lot. I think that's what a lot of us are looking for in our lives and in our careers. How do we get to those answers as quickly as possible? And I want to use that to kind of roll into my next question here. And Bill had mentioned it before as well, is that idea of speed to value and that value delivery mechanism there. So Bill, we talk about ROI, we talk about speed to value. They sound great, but what does that really mean in practice? How soon can a marketing team realistically start to see results after onboarding something like MDI?
Well, I can tell you from recent and consistent experience in the time that we've made our platform available to our clients, paying clients, to let them experience this. The payback is typically within days or weeks. That doesn't take longer than that. We need to onboard the data, make sure the data is flowing, and that we have tuned the system for the needs of the customer, but does not take long at all. Typically, what's happening is we are oftentimes saving a considerable amount of labor. The first experience is that payback is you don't need nearly as many bodies to be able to do this work that may be being done currently. That includes technical specialists like data engineers, data warehouse folks, data scientists, BI report writers, data visualization folks, analysts, people that are doing things like wrap-up reports or in-market campaign reporting. So I think the first payback, I think we know all of our clients have experienced is savings on labor. Second is catching errors or challenges that exist within execution and finding those essentially immediately. When I say immediately, we have smart rules-based alerts throughout every aspect of the system, and you can be notified by email, by Slack, by Teams instantly based on whatever the rules are that you set. Payback is extremely dramatic. To give you some example, quote, took this agency 30 days to get a return equivalent to higher. So it was getting payback 30 days higher aligned with us. And that was strictly from the first piece. That was just from labor savings. That is not an unusual experience, nor is it to find out simply what's working. It is very quickly.
Well, that's really impressive to hear that these returns are coming so quickly and people are able to onboard and see those results and see that value in such short timelines. And I want to throw it back to you here really quick. But the market shifts fast, but budgets, consumer behaviors, technologies, as we've seen with AI, everything is evolving so fast. Why do you think now is the time for marketers to adopt something like this if they've gotten by without it before?
Sure. Well, I think it would be an unusual marketer that would not agree with the premise that costs have gone up considerably. For those of us who've been doing this for a long time, the cost to acquire, to win back, to grow a customer, overall marketing costs have gone up in every which way, in absolute dollars, in percentage terms. Um, uh, Finance is putting a particular focus on marketing activity and is trying to look for proof statements. And it's now because this is existential for marketers and the people that are supplying them. In marketing, we no longer have years to be able to measure success. These are very, very short measurement windows. And so this helps you to be able to establish ROI for any aspect of what you're doing, and also to be able to tell better stories for those who you seek resources from. So, gosh, I wish we had this earlier. In particular, I think Ash and I have had the experience of writing make good checks or experiencing things where we wish that we knew sooner what was going on with a particular problem and found out too late to be able to do anything about it. I'm sure many people on the call can relate to that. I know what it's cost us, or at least I think I know what it's cost us, and we don't have those challenges anymore. We may have other challenges, but we don't have challenges based on reporting and analytics. Number one, and number two, in our own experience, we've been able to take the headcount of our business down by more than 50% using these kinds of automated tools, and we're doing more than we've ever done with fewer bodies. And using AI and automation to help us. So happy to share that with others.
Yeah, really good to hear that this is this emerging frontier that people and marketers in particular should start looking to make those decisions in this chaotic time of shortened timelines and ROI needing to be tighter. So it's good to hear that that's the problem being solved. I want to take on something you said there at the end. You mentioned AI. We've mentioned AI a couple times in this chat, and it's such a big part of the global conversation right now about how this new technology is emerging and who should be using it. And I want to throw this over to Ashwini. With AI reshaping every part of marketing, analytics to customer experience, in your perspective, how is AI redefining this marketing decision-making idea? And how does Maddie in particular make that real that you mentioned before? How do you see all of this working together? What does that look like to you?
Yeah, sure. As we know, today's marketing environment is quite volatile, right? It's very difficult to predict the consumer behavior, channels, and then even the budgets shift in real time. So, what is AI doing? So, AI is shifting marketing from gut based decisions to data guided intelligence. So it's no longer about guessing, right? Oh, okay, let me channel my budget to social media or programmatic, and hope for the best ROI. So today it's entirely data driven, and especially with Maddie, our AI powered decision assistant. So marketers can simply ask, as I mentioned previously, also in plain English, which channels are driving the best ROI and things like that. And one of my favorite and the most complex is, the application of incrementality and causality. Before I expand on this example, so I want to let you all know that we will be diving deeper into MADTECH.AI's marketing effectiveness capabilities in our upcoming webinar on 5th of December this year. So yeah, now going back to the incrementality example, imagine an offer campaign, right, where let's say the ROI increased by 20%. Now, the natural tendency is to attribute that entire 20% to this offer campaign. But with Maddie, what you can do is it can actually determine if the 20% of the lift in the ROI, is it truly from incremental, that incrementality, is it, what is the cause? Is it truly because of the offer campaign itself, or were there any external factors like seasonality impacted it? Because you never know, right? Maybe without that offer campaign, the ROI would have gone 10% less, or 10% more. So you cannot attribute the entire increment that you saw in the ROI to this offer campaign. So what MADI does is it can analyze this data in every angle. It can identify trends and the surface drivers which actually caused it, and it can recommend the next best actions, so that the marketers can invest smartly. So you could imagine, it's like data scientist and the strategist sitting besides you. So only it's built right into our platform. So yeah, that's what I would say. So, and AI, right? So it's here only to amplify the creativity, and definitely I don't think it is here to replace humans completely.
I like that answer a whole lot. And I like what you said there, that it's like having a data scientist sitting right next to you to amplify you there. That's a really great way to think about it. And I would love to, if at all possible, watch this demo to actually see what Maddie is and what she's like in action.
Yep, I think let's go to a quick demo.
Your marketing decision intelligence platform. Unify, transform, analyze, and visualize all your data in a single cost-effective AI-powered hub. Today, I'll introduce you to MADTECH.AI Marketing Decision Intelligence Suite. You'll learn about unified data integration iPaaS, role-based dashboards, and AI insights, data models, smart alerts, marketplace, and me, your AI assistant, Maddie. Are you ready to get started? This is your overview page where you can easily access to your most frequently used and recently viewed tools and dashboards. In order to use these tools and dashboards, you'll need to connect your data sources. This is when the magic happens with iPaaS. You can connect 300 plus marketing-related data sources with no coding needed. When you click on iPaaS, your data pipelines page welcomes you. You'll see the total pipelines created and their status. You can create a new one by clicking on Create Data Pipeline. Select among hundreds of purpose-built templates, filter the templates by category, organization type, and data sources. If you are not sure what to select, you can always skip this step. For the purpose of this tour, I'll select Lead Gen Summary. In the next step, select your data source from hundreds of pre-built data connectors across MarTech, AdTech, CRM, social media, website analytics, finance, accounting, and more. Once your data source is connected, use our Transformations module to transform data to suit your specific analytics needs. To keep things simple and get started right away, apply our standard transformations that use predefined best practices. If you need customization, you can create your own formulas here. With a simple drag and drop user experience, create custom dimensions and metrics while applying custom logic without writing any code. Next, select where you want to store your data. Our secure multi-tenanted data warehouse is ready to go from day one. You can also store data in a data warehouse of your choice. In the last two steps, you'll review your template selection and schedule your pipeline sync. As soon as you click Start Data Pipeline, sync will begin immediately and your dashboard will be available in the template section. For more detailed iPaaS tour, see our iPaaS Suite product tour video. We have 400 plus pre-built dashboards with thousands of widgets and metrics optimized by industry and function. Popular dashboards include CMO, single channel and multi-channel, marketing performance, pacing, acquisition, engagement, and many others. I'll select Lead Gen Summary. We incorporated AI to each widget, so you get the smartest insights faster. You can also view linear trend, normal range, and forecast of your time series data. You can create smart alerts to detect any performance anomalies proactively. Our AI-infused smart dashboards also includes dashboard-level AI synthesize. When you activate Maddie, you'll get a quick overview, key metrics, insights, predictions, and recommendations. MADTECH.AI Marketing Decision Intelligence Suite is designed for you to get the most out of your data. Our hundreds of pre-built data and marketing science models help you measure the success of campaigns with our marketing effectiveness matrix. You can easily set up models like marketing mix model, multi-touch attribution, media mix model, incrementality, causality, RFM analysis, and more to improve investment allocation, performance against budget, ROMI, and ROI. By the way, I gotta introduce myself. I'm Maddie, your AI assistant. You can find me in Ask Maddie section, and I'll answer all your marketing-related questions. Do you want me identify the best and least performing campaigns on Facebook and suggest an action plan? Simply type for it and I'll give instant, simple answers in a conversational, plain English. We have created a marketplace environment for third-party data and software to address specific organizational needs in marketing, analytics, and related business functions. We are committed to keep you posted about what's going on with your data. You can access your smart alerts and notifications from RightRail. You'll also receive notifications via email, Slack, Teams, and/or SMS, including updates and performance anomalies. RightRail includes product updates and support documentations as well. Speaking of support, if you need any help with any of these features, I'm here with you under this live chat pop-up. You can also get in touch with our live specialists 24/7, 365. At MADTECH.AI, we make real-time AI-driven insights accessible to everyone. Whether you're a global or emerging brand, agency, publisher, or data tech provider, we give you a single source of truth. So you can capture sharper insights that drive smarter marketing decisions faster and more affordable than ever before. Visit MADTECH.AI/MDI or scan this QR code to get started for free.
Wow, what a powerful video there and showcase of all of those pieces Bill and Ashwini have been talking about. I liked a lot of that. I thought Maddie's really powerful, and I think it speaks to that answer of, how is AI shaping our decisions, as Ashwini was telling us. But in actuality, implementing these things is hard. We can talk about theory all day long, but I would love to know, and Ashwini, this question is for you. Do you have an example of someone actually using this that illustrates success here? Like, it's great to talk about what could be, but what actually is? Have people used this, or is there a story you can share where clients achieved some kind of impact with MADTECH.AI?
Yeah, absolutely. So there are multiple examples, and then we have, customers using it, and the response has been extremely encouraging, Adam. So client tell us, they finally have clarity and the confidence in their data. They see 80 to 90% reduction in reporting time, and for less complex ecosystems, it's close to 100% automation, I would say. So clients also experience the faster campaign optimization, and then a clear ROI visibility. So one of our enterprise clients, they have consolidated over 15 data sources into MADTECH.AI, and so if one has to connect so many data pipelines, earlier it would take weeks or months, right? So now it just takes hours and days, I would say. The client teams also feel empowered, and the leadership, they can see unified view. And everybody, it's like in an organization, everybody is speaking the same data language, and all it really takes, according to me, is it's the conviction, right? It's a conviction to work collaboratively and truly leverage the capabilities of platform, because MADTECH.AI offers so one of the most complete solutions for marketers, agencies, and publishers, and in those lines is what I think.
So people are using it today. They're seeing results. Yes. The platform is up and running. This sounds amazing. It sounds like y'all have done a really wonderful job at defining this category. And it looks like we're running up here at the end of this portion of today's talk, and we're going to jump into the Q&A shortly. I do want to say, if anyone wants to view that product tour that Maddie mentioned, or any of those videos that she talked about, and any of what you just saw, if you just go to MADTECH.AI, all of it is easy right there in one place. and we can send links or contact us directly. Happy to show you around and give you a demo. With that being said, I do want to open the floor to questions. I have a couple that I've been thinking of throughout this process, but if anyone that's listening right now, or if any of you out there have some questions where you want to specifically jump into something that you want to hear more of, happy for it. Drop it in. We'll get to it. We'll answer it. We're here for you. And so we have a question now. Ankit is asking, if I have marketing analytics or BI tools already, how does MDI add value on top of that? And I think this is for Bill.
Sure. Happy to answer the question. So first of all, if you are using BI tools and you want to keep using them, we are happy to be able to export out of our system to any BI environment. So you don't have to give it up if you don't want to, but we have a very, very robust BI offering that is built into the system that does not cost anything extra. So if you were looking to exit BI if it's not working for you for whatever reason, I think you'll find that we have an excellent range of capability that's already in the system. If you want to take data out and put it into your BI, as I say, you can do that. But when you do that, you're going to lose some of the capability on the decision intelligence in terms of being able to play real-time what if, being able to render the visuals immediately. You will lose some of the benefit of the analytic capabilities that are built on top of the system, but you can definitely get your data out. Just so everybody's aware, the platform is built to be able to be in your look and feel if you would like it, to be able to output to PowerPoint or PDF or in virtually any other format. So the goal here, again, is to try to reduce repetitive tasks and administrative ones. So it absolutely works with BI, but I think you'll find that there are probably tools you're using now that you may not need to continue to use because we've already incorporated so much in the system.
That's a good answer. I like that idea of the consolidation, making sure all of the reporting that you need is in one place, and MDI is solving for that. We have another question here. Renda's asking, does the platform require a data science team to operate? This is a good question because I think we've spoken a lot to, here's all these models and here's all this data integration and here's all of these really great platforms. Some of that's really complicated. Some of that's a lot of algorithms and math and having to understand some pretty hardcore analytics. Ashwini, I want to throw this question over to you. Does a customer need a data science team for this platform?
Not at all. We don't need data scientists to use the platform because MDI automates as we have seen in the video also, right? So data modeling, transformation, and visualization. So the marketing users can just interact through the system and through MADI, and our conversational AI assistant would help. So there is no code required, there is no technical expertise required. All you need is definitely the domain and the AdTech platform knowledge. That should be enough.
Let me be specific. There is no need for Python developers or SQL queries or writing R. You have the ability to be able to go native to the data, and there's a designer version of logins where you can create a lot on your own if you choose to, either read-only or designer. But our goal is to try to make this as comprehensive as possible, and if you need customization, we're happy to do that for you.
Love it. I like reducing the amount of manpower and man hours that are going into projects. So getting directly to those answers without needing a full team to back it up, completely on board with. And speaking of, in that same lane, Ashwini, you've talked a lot about integration. You're integrating here and getting the data here, and there's a lot of pieces to that. What do you natively integrate to? What is it? CRMs? Is it HubSpot? Is it Google Ads? Like what is the breadth or width of what you're integrating to?
Yeah, so absolutely. See, our iPaaS layer includes connectors for all major CRMs, ad networks, and then the marketing automation tools or even analytical tools. The apart from the 300 most popular connectors, if there are any other connectors, so we can definitely uh, uh, help build those pipeline. That would help uh, the customers. Yes, yep, definitely we support
That's
CRM
great to
and other.
hear. I think a lot of the challenge sometimes a lot of organizations, and I think we've all experienced this, face is that we would love to have all of our data in one place, but to hear that you've already solved for that there's already a data warehouse, that you already have the pipelines, we don't have to
Mhm.
worry about it. I think that's a huge win in my opinion there. I've got another question here. Tiffany's asking, why do you believe that marketing decision intelligence is the next major category in MarTech? I think this would be for Bill, the visionary here. What do you think of? Why is this the next big thing?
Because we have way too many vendors in this market. The market is in need of consolidation. There are over 14,000 vendors today between MarTech, AdTech, and the data analytics tools that are available to the industry. Too many companies producing like-kind merchandise at prices that are not particularly different from one another. Too many for the actual growth of the industry. Today, we are reaching about $1 trillion this coming year, I think, in the size of the overall global market. The growth rate is coming down for a variety of reasons, but not the least of which is that there needs to be tighter return on investment for what one is spending. And I think this is going to help everyone, buy side and sell side, in order to be able to help rationalize the investments that they're making. To me, this is inevitable, but I don't originally come from this industry. I come from finance and from Wall Street in particular, where I started out as a quant. And to me, there's better um, investment allocation that's going to be required. And I think this is going to be a tool set that an awful lot of people will benefit from.
I'd love to hear it. That idea of we need this now. We need to tighten our ROIs, make sure that the spend is going to the right place. And I see some questions on the chat kind of in that same vein. Bill, could you talk a little bit about maybe pricing on this kind of thing? Like, what does this kind of cost, or at least what kind of ROI can you expect from it?
Sure. Well, so far experience is that it typically only takes weeks before you're benefiting as a user from the system. Once the data is flowing, typically fairly instantly, you're getting insight, and typically you're learning something about your business and what's going on, whether it's at a strategic channel level or all the way down through campaigns and what's driving success or challenges that exist within the campaigns. So from an affordability standpoint, MDI suite starts at $4,999 a month. Under $60,000 a year is a typical platform cost license for a brand. And then beyond that, there's some login charges that are quite modest. They're cloud costs, and whatever your particular cloud cost will be, that's a pass through. If there's some customization required, there may be a cost there, but this is extremely inexpensive, I think, especially when you consider that it may be that this is in lieu of humans doing a lot of this work, in addition to the potential replacement for systems. So in terms of return on investment, usually it's measured in weeks or at most a few months. That's been our experience so far.
And we're coming up on time here. I do want to take a pause, but on questions there, because I think we've really done a pretty thorough job. Bill, thank you for that answer there of answering what is marketing decision intelligence, what is MADTECH.AI trying to solve, and who can it help. And it sounds like anybody who's in the marketing game at all, regardless of your vertical, it sounds like it could be a great opportunity for. So I just want to kind of coming around the end here as we wrap up, say thank you to Bill and Ashwini, and one last question to you, Bill. As we wrap up, what is your vision for the future of MDI and marketing in general in the next 3 to 5 years? What does this look like as you continue to build it out?
My expectation is that we will not be the only entrant in this space, number one. Number two, I think that this is going to become a part of the vernacular, just as, let's say, CDPs represent the evolution of CRMs and DMPs. I think this is going to become a more common need within the ecosystem. I would say that there's going to be a specific opportunity that AI is bringing to be able to take advantage of not only your own experience as a marketer or as an agency or a supplier to the industry, but I think we're going to see the future of something that we're going to talk more about this coming year, which is the opportunity for collective intelligence. We are just at the beginning of that for MDI, which is what happens when you can aggregate and anonymize very, very granular experience, and not only to be able to infuse what prediction and recommendations that you're getting from your own experience, but you benefit from the aggregated, anonymized experience of others. And we see this in LLMs. Here, we're not talking about an LLM because we don't want your data out in the wild, but we are talking about a constrained use of AI with aggregated experience of others to be able to say, maybe you ought to consider this additional channel or this change in how you're doing something, not only based on your own experience, but perhaps based on peers, where it's something that you weren't considering, but where the system tells you what the potential incremental impact is. I think one last thing in answer to your question, Adam, is I think we're going to see fewer human resources required in order to be able to do the full 365 of what great marketing can be. That you have available the opportunity to move a lot of repetitive tasks and things that are more error prone, and being able to make those more systematic and automated. So it seems to me that we are on our way to a more rationalized industry, and one where there are going to be tools that are available to us. And if we're not taking advantage of them, we're likely to be having to justify why we're not to people who may be using them in other parts of our enterprises.
Yeah, I mean, I think I completely agree with you that it's all evolving and staying on top of it and seeing how we can most effectively use the data that we all have to make those decisions, I think is really, really important. We have about 2 minutes here, and there's one announcement that I want to make here at the end. But before we get to that big announcement, I do want to thank you both, Bill and Ashwini. Thank you so much for sharing your powerful insights and what you're doing here today with MADTECH.AI. It means a lot. It's an amazing product. I'm excited to work with it more and see more of it. And I want to thank our audience. Thank you for joining us. If you'd like to see any of this or how MDI can make your team better, how you can make better AI-powered decisions, visit MADTECH.AI or schedule a custom walkthrough. Happy to, myself, Bill, or Ashwini, we're all happy to talk to you about these things. And again, thank you all. I really appreciate it. And we all really appreciate it. So thank you.
Thank you, Adam. Thanks, everyone.
The last thing I want to say, this last piece announcement wise, if we can get to the final slide. On December 4th, we'll be back. Another live session. We're going to go through the marketing effectiveness module. It's what Ashwini was sharing before. And this is really to focus on that picture of how do you really connect spend to impact? Are your campaigns doing well? Where should I spend money? How effective have I been in the markets that I've been looking at? We have an entire module within MADTECH.AI that focuses on that, called our Marketing Effectiveness Suite. We're going to have a big webinar on that on December 4th. Bill and Ashwini are going to join us again. And again, thank you so much for joining us, Bill and Ashwini. It's been really great. And thank you for everyone who's joined us today.
Thank you, Adam.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Thanks everyone.